So I've watched lots of YouTube tutorials on music production, and quite often they go on and on about the kick being so important. And to a certain extent they're right, but how do you get the right kick? I mean, usually I start with a kick before I have anything else on my Ableton Live session, and then you produce the track, and by the end, is it the right kick? Well, I've got one great tip to let you know if it is or not, so stick around. Track Unspoken's out next week and it's more or less done. One of the final things that I like to do on a track is just to play around with the kick. Usually I start by choosing the kick, and then obviously hours and hours later you have a track and you don't know whether that original kick still works. So I don't go completely mad over the kick, I don't obsess about it. This is what it sounds like currently. So I quite like that kick. It's I tuned it to the key. It's in B minor, this track. But could I improve, and could that make the track better? So what I like to do is I've put a plugin here called XO, which just is fantastic. It groups all of your samples by type. So all of these red ones on the screen here are kicks, and I have soloed a kick here, and I've also mapped each kick to a crossfader, which I've got here on my desk. So if I have the crossfader, if I start it again, I have the crossfader to the left. If I just solo the kicks, so that's the original kick. And then if I move the crossfader over to the right, that is this kick here that is throbbing here. One of the great things is on this plugin is if you get something that you quite like, it has this similarity, you can then just, so you can see all of these have a bit of a noise. I don't actually like that, so we will go for something else with a bit of a knock in it. And if the key as well to this is to try and listen to it in the mix with the whole track, that's why I have the crossfader, so I can keep going back and forward between old one and new one. So if we bring everything else in, so this is the new kick, and that's the original. New one, very similar. So now if I find a kick that I quite like this one, we can then listen to the full track, and I'm going to scroll through a few of these along the bottom and just see if I like something, and see if it's better than the original. Okay, so I quite like that one, and then if we go back to the original, we can then see if we prefer it or not. That's the original. And that's the new one. So they are almost exactly the same, which probably means that the original kick was quite good. Let's choose something a bit different, and different areas on this kind of star chart are different types of kick. So if we go to a different area, if I stay in this area, they'll be very similar. If I go to a different area, so I quite like that one. Let's see if we can, again, find something similar that we quite like as well. These are all the new kicks. Yeah, that one's quite good. If we compare that to the original, I think I prefer the original. All right, let's try once more. Let's try once more. Let's just solo the low end, so the kick and the bass. Okay, so now we've got the kick and the bass, and we can compare the two. Let me just change the loop points so that we're only listening to. We don't want to hear any silence in this bit. So this is the original kick. That's the new one that I quite like. Again, quite similar. It's a bit more like a tom, isn't it? And a sort of snare. I think this track needs a sort of punchy kick. It's not bad, a bit boomy. That's quite good, that's got a bit of something to it. Oh, let's just listen to that. This is the new kick with the rest of the track. So that's the new kick. That's the old kick, or the original kick. New kick. Old kick. I don't know. I found a few that I like. I quite like the original. I think I made a reasonable original choice. I quite like that last one. I'm going to have a think about it. Let me know what you think in the comments. See you next time.